I'm calling this the Fallacy of the Communal. Tomorrow is Shemini Tzeretz, the 8th day festival, and there's a Yizkor tonight, and this is why I'm saying this, because I believe there is only self-interest. And even among communities like Jews, there's only self-interest. And as part of another one, Let's Get Real series of videos. And there is a part of the self that's concerned with others, but that's only in the self-interest. Because the highest level is a unique aspect of the self. It's the Yehida. This self is the breath of God. And the thing called the Atzmutz Yehida, the Atzmutz of Ein Sof, but I have a thing that I call the Etzem Yehida, because I consider Atzmi, Etzem, bone. There are two Lutz bones, one in the cortex, one in the back of the head, one in like the genital region, one in the brain region. This is the essence of man. And this Yiska, Atzem, Etzem, is 200. Yehida, 37. That comes out to be 237. The Etzem Yehida, that's in my opinion, the highest aspect of an individual self. That highest aspect of the individual self comes out to be 237 in Gematria, and that's how I write down Yiska. I know Jews are Vav, so it's Yud, Kaf, Yud, Zayin, Kaf, Resh. Yiska. And that's the remembrance of the self. You see, you remember the person who died, his essence on these days, 4 days of Yiska. And it gives you a good chance to remember yourself. Because you have to do for yourself. For those who do for others, they're really doing for themselves. You have to admit it. You see? This is very, very deep. It's the ultimate masculine, because the word Zayin, Kaf, Resh, Zakar, is the word for male and masculinity. And it's the essence. And I repeat now the story that happened to me 35 years ago, about the time at the house we had a brunch for invited the Jungian librarian from the Jung Society, and she brought a friend. This friend was a Labanian therapist. And she said to me, well, what do you want to do? I was only 35 at the time. And I said, well, I'd like to help people. And she said, and this is my famous thing, I said, I'd like to help people. And she said to me, why don't you help yourself? And that stuck with me. Now, if I determine that I want to help people to help myself, that's different. Because there's a part of the self that's concerned with the other, but is only a part, a fragment. In the final analysis, you are totally alone in the Yehida. And when you die, immediately that Yehida goes back up to Hashem. And that's why the body has to be put into the ground right away, because it's empty of the Yehida. See? So the point is, the self. Can you handle that in Judaism? You know that there's a fallacy of the communal. There are a lot of selves. There's individual. There's a community of individuals, but there's no community. It's a community of individuals, because in the final analysis, you don't care about anybody else. Get real. Remember, this is a Let's Get Real video. Do you really care about anybody else? In the final analysis, I only care about myself and the things that I'm interested in. I'm looking for help along the way. And that's a certain weird weakness that I think somebody should help me. Help myself. That's what I should be doing. So that's what, let me get back to this because it's a very big deal for me. The etzem, the bone, the etzem, the essence of self, atzmut, atzmi, etzem, Yehida. Not just the Yehida, but the root of the self. The etzem Yehida is recognized when we light the Yitzhak Yiskor candle. And tonight, as I'm going to do this for Shemini Atzeret, it's an even bigger bracha for me, because Shemini Atzeret is my birthday. I was born on Shemini Atzeret. So you go figure out my destiny. It's a very big deal. Because it relates to the number 8, relates to the letter Het, relates to the bris, relates to the infinite. Remember, 6 is physical, 7 is spiritual, 8 is infinite. And that's why the letter Het is made with a Vav on the right, a Zion on the left, and a little bar connection to the roof. And that makes the letter Het. So, Etzem Yehida is the same as Yiskor, 237. Yiskor as Yud Zion Kaf Resh. And this is a beautiful essence of the individualized self. So if you want to come back and do something for the community and be communal, that's fine. That's a part of yourself. But there's a much deeper aspect.